Very good morning, children. Welcome to our English class of Gurukul English Medium School, Standard 5. Today we will begin with our 22nd lesson. I want you to take your textbooks out as we are learning the lesson. Lesson number 22, a book review, George's Secret Key to the Universe. Now, what's George's secret and who is George? Let us see. George's dad is an ardent environmentalist. In fact, both his parents are convinced that modern inventions of science and technology have caused a lot of damage on the earth. They are committed to cause of saving the planet. They use a bicycle instead of car. There is a ban on TV and computers in their house. They don't buy things like bread and biscuits. They eat only vegetarian and home cooked food. They even use candles to light the house to avoid using electricity. Poor George has to suffer a lot of jeering and ridicule from his friends because of all this. So, children, this is a story about a small boy called George. All right, now in this paragraph, let us understand the meaning of ardent. Ardent is very enthusiastic. Now, what does the name of the lesson indicate? A book review. Now, what do you mean by book review? Book review is nothing but a report or evaluation of a book. There is a book and we are evaluating a book, or we are knowing more about the book. So let us understand more about that book. Ardent, as I said, is very enthusiastic. Environmentalist is a person who is convinced about protecting the environment. It's a person who is convinced about protecting the environment. So, George's parents were enthusiastic environmentalist, which means they are very much interested in protecting the environment. So the parents are very much convinced that modern technology causes damage to the earth, hence they do not use TV or computers in their house, and they also use bicycle instead of car. They don't buy bread and biscuits. They only eat vegetarian and home cooked food. So they also use candles. They do not have electricity as we have today. So, children, how different is their life from our present life? Isn't it very different? They have no TV, no car, no electricity, and no outside food. Whereas we are totally different from what they used to follow. We use TV, computers, laptops, mobile phones, and all different types of electrical gadgets. And apart from that, we use electricity in various ways. We also use non-vegetarian food and we also eat junk food. But they are very different. So because of all this, when George used to go out and play with his friends, he used to be ridiculed and he used to suffer a lot of jeering. Now let us understand what is the meaning of convinced. Convinced is completely certain about something, and committed, which means willing to work hard and give your time and energy to something, believing strongly in something. Now jeering is making ridicule and mocking remarks. Someone is trying to making fun of George. Ridicule means being unkind and making comments that they make fun of somebody, something, or make them look very silly. So this is what is the meaning of ridicule and jeering. So George used to suffer a lot from his friends. Now let us look at the next paragraph. Actually, George doesn't think that either the TV or the computer is a bad thing. He has tried to tell his parents that it's possible to save the earth using the computers and the internet. But no, in their house, there can't be any discussion on that issue. George always likes to know why. But who is to answer his questions? His parents think that he's too young to understand global issues. So, children, here let us understand this paragraph carefully. Now, George thinks that it's good to have computers and internet, whereas parents think it is not good. And George also thinks that they can save the earth with the help of computer and internet. But they don't want to discuss anything regarding the modern inventions in their house because parents think that George is still too young to understand all these global issues. Now, what do you mean by global, children? Global is relating to the whole world or worldwide. Now, let us look at the next paragraph. One day, however, George unexpectedly acquires a new friend and next door neighbor, Annie. Annie's father, Eric, is a brilliant scientist and ever willing to answer all George's questions. Eric has built a super intelligent computer named Cosmos. Cosmos has incredible powers. It can literally open windows on the universe and take you to any planet, star, comet, and even to a black hole. And of course, Cosmos can also bring you back from there. However, Cosmos depends entirely on the information that is fed into it by the people. So, children, let us understand the meaning of incredible. Incredible is extraordinary, impossible to believe. Now, here in this paragraph, George, one day, he meets a friend. Now, where does the friend live? Friend is just a neighbor. And what is the name of the friend? It's Annie. So, Annie's father is Eric. And what does he do? He is a brilliant scientist. Now, Eric has built a super intelligent computer named Cosmos. Now, Cosmos has incredible powers. Now, what do you mean by incredible, children? As I told you, it's extraordinary. So, it's got extraordinary powers. What has extraordinary powers? Cosmos, which is a super intelligent computer built by Eric, Annie's father, and Annie is George's friend. It can literally open windows on the universe and take you to any planet, star, comet, and even to a black hole. Now, what is a you know about planet, star, comet, but what is a black hole? Black hole is a place in space where gravity pulls so much that even light cannot get out. The gravity is so strong because matter has been squeezed into a tiny space. This can happen when a star is dying. Because no light can get out, people can't see black holes. So I'll show you the picture at the end of the lesson. Okay, now this is all about the black hole. However, cosmos depends entirely on the information which the people feed in. Now, children, let us look at the next paragraph. Now, who can feed in the information into that supercomputer? People like Eric who do the research and thinking that can make Cosmos work. So, unless people feed in the information in the cosmos, and people like Eric, who is a great scientist, who do the research and thinking that can make cosmos work. Science can be used for a good cause, and a group of scientists like Eric have vowed to use it for people's welfare. So, whenever you become a good scientist, remember that you have to work for people's welfare. Whatever the inventions and discoveries, all that should be done for the welfare of people. Unfortunately, there is no one or angry scientist who wants to use science for his own selfish motives. He is planning to steal cosmos and all Eric's research so that he can establish his own rule on another planet. It so happened that only George can do something to overcome the wicked plans of the nasty scientist. If you want to know what adventures he undertakes and what strategies he has to use to stop the power hungry scientist, you have to read the novel George's Secret Key to the Universe. Now, this is a book which you all have to read in order to know what exactly the bad scientists do and what does George do to stop him from doing all nasty things or the wicked things. Now, let us understand the meaning of welfare. Welfare, which means the health and the happiness of the individual or the group. Motives are the reasons, and strategies are the plans. So, here some people have selfish motives, some scientists. So, one odd, angry scientist who was using science for his only selfish motives, which means reasons. So, how George can do something to overcome his plans of the nasty scientist, that has to be read in George's Secret Key to the Universe, which is a novel. Now, let us go ahead. The author of this wonderful adventure is Lucy Hawking. So, who is the author of that book, George's Secret Key to the Universe, children? It's a novel which is a wonderful adventure and it is written by Lucy Hawking. Now, who is a Lucy Hawking? Yes, Stephen Hawking's wife. The story of the novel is imaginary, but it also includes plenty of charts, photograph boxes that give you hard facts about our solar system, galaxies, space, and the whole universe. Children, you need to understand, so that is the reason why they have put in many photographs and boxes and charts in that novel so that people can understand the novel very well. So let us look. Now this information has been presented in a very simple, easy to understand manner by none other than Stephen Hawking, who is said to be one of the greatest scientists of our times. His achievements are all the more astounding as he is a victim of many physical ailments. He has to use a wheelchair to move about and use a computerized voice system in order to speak. The story of Stephen Hawking's triumph over his physical abilities is itself an inspiring adventure. Now, this book about George's secret key to the universe has been written by Lucy Hawking, and the information about the book has been presented in a very simple and easy to understand manner by Stephen Hawking, who is also a very greatest scientist, and he has got many physical ailments. Now, physical ailments are illnesses, and Stephen Hawking is a person who is ill as a result of disease. and he also has done a tremendous work in the field of science and technology. So he used to use wheelchair to move about from one place to another place. Also, he used to use computerized voice system in order to speak. So this computer used to be taking care of his speaking part by understanding what is going on in his mind, and then his voice used to be come out through the computer. The story of Stephen Hawking's triumph over the physical disability itself is really an inspiring adventure. Yes, children, it is truly an adventure. The book includes very attractive and expensive sketches drawn by Gary Parsons. It is true that the excessive use of science and technology can give rise to certain problems, but turning away from technology, it is not the solution. That is why the Hawkings have given an important message in this book: more research, more studies, and a commitment to use them not for selfish gains but for the welfare of the entire living world. So, it's a total gist of the book George's Secret Key to the Universe, which you and I should read, and it is written in a very simpler manner by Stephen Hawking. Now, children, this is the image of a black hole, which I have told you that I'll be showing you later. This is the image of a black hole. Now, here we have the images of Stephen Hawking when he was a small boy. This was the picture when he was young, and this is the picture when he was old. So, children, now Stephen Hawking told us that it is true that the excessive use of science and technology can give rise to certain problems. Isn't it true, children? Nowadays, people are misusing science and technology, which is very bad. And by turning away from technology is not the solution also. So it doesn't mean that we should not be using the technology. That is why the Hawking have given an important message in this book. What is that message? More research, more studies, and a commitment to use them not for selfish gain but for the welfare of the entire living world. So, children, I'm sure you understood the lesson. If it is possible, try and make an attempt to read George's Secret Key to the Universe and make use of science and technology in the right way. This is what I have for you now. Thank you so much. You have a nice day. Bye bye.